Hello friends, how are you? Kama sawal, lazumi, adab, salam, namaste, sat sri akal. कैसे हैं आप लोग? Today, a video is about Canada. A long time ago, about 30 years ago, when I was planning to come to Canada and to call it as my second home, I heard about Canada is a free country. So now I think after living here 30 years, I want to see and want to let you know that why do we call Canada as a free country? So there are a number of reasons for that. And in fact, there are many things that are free available to its permanent residents and its citizens. One of those is healthcare. Second is education. Third is housing. And the fourth is allowance for people who cannot get a job or who are unable to get a job due to disability. So health care is considered in Canada as a basic need, and it's a responsibility of each and every province to provide free health care to its residents. In Ontario, for example, this is called OHIP, Ontario Health Insurance Plan. So this kind of insurance is provided by the government at no cost to everyone. And this covers not the medicines, but visit to a doctor. And then if a doctor recommends the patient to a specialist, that a specialist visit will be free. And if, God forbid, someone ends up into a hospital, so this hospital cost is free. There's no cost to be in the hospital, although they are going to be living in, to be admitted into a general ward, but general ward is as good as a private ward in Canada, and they all are entitled to get world-class health facilities. Medicines are normally not covered by the whole health insurance plan provided by the government, but if someone is a low-income person, he can also have access to free medicines. He only has to pay a pharmacy fee, which is about $2 per prescription compared to $12 or $13 prescription fee plus the cost of medicines. So a person who is not earning enough money can get medicines free of cost by paying just a minimal amount of pharmacy fee. The second free thing in Canada is about education. I don't mean education like college education or the university education. Those education costs are very expensive in Canada, even for Canadians who are a resident of Canada, who are citizen of Canada, they have to pay, but they have to borrow from the banks or from the government to pay the tuition fee. However, up to grade 12, education is free. So starting from age 4 or 5, when a kid starts going to the nursery or KG, and from there all the way to grade 12, which is called high school in Canada. So that education cost is free. Sometimes even in some schools, there's a breakfast club, and kids, when they go to that school, they can join the breakfast club and can have free breakfast in the school, free books, free, no fees, nothing else. So education, basic education is free in Canada. The third thing which is free in Canada is very strange, and that's called housing. We all know housing is very expensive in Canada. An average house in Toronto or Vancouver could cost about $1 million, or in a small city like Ottawa or Calgary, it could be around $700,000 or $800,000. But I'm saying housing is free for those people who cannot afford to buy a house. So there are social housing available in Canada, although there's a big lineup and there's a big waiting list for to be able to get a social housing, which is available at a very, very low cost. But there's another option for Canadians who are low-income Canadians. They can contact their cities And the cities, they have a plan that's called rent subsidization program. And the cities, they can provide a subsidy to the rent to the low income people up to $1,000 or about something like that. So in some extent, I call housing free if you can get into a social housing, or you can get a subsidy free of cost up to $1,000 if you are a low income person, if you contact the city. Okay, final thing that is free is money. So your money you can get is free. And that's interesting. Why? Because if a person is unemployed, but he is able to be employed, but by somehow he is unable to be employed, or he cannot find a job, he will not be left behind, and government provide them some sort of income support. And for a single person who is employable but cannot get a job, he can make around $9,800 a year, and that was the money that he can afford to live in a small room to rent, and then he can survive with that money. But if the person is unable to get a job because of some kind of a disability, then the amount of the allowance given to that person is a bit higher, which is around $15,120. A single parent, if a single mother or is a single father with one child, and a single parent is unable to find a job or cannot go for a job because of taking care of the kid, that single parent can get up to $22,000 per year allowance from government of Canada, and that money would be support for a single parent to raise his child in a good environment. And finally, if there is a couple and both people cannot find a job, they both are trying to find a job but cannot find, and they both have two kids. So if they have two children and they cannot have a job, then the amount of support available is about $31,500 per year to that couple to raise the family. This allowance takes many forms. For example, it includes social assistance that is provided by the province of the country, GST, like a sales tax rebate, child tax benefits. So there are many forms, but in total, that's the amount a person can get free in Canada to live. And finally, there is another form of payment that is offered to everybody who is over 65, and that's called old age supplement. The person who has been living in Canada for up to at least 10 years is entitled to get that extra amount at the age of 65. Maximum amount is around $600 for a person who have been living in Canada for more than 40 years. But if you've been living in Canada for between 10 to 40 years, your old age supplement will be adjusted accordingly. So these are the few things that you get free in Canada. So I leave it up to you. Do you agree with me that Canada is a free country? Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Leave your comment and subscribe my channel. See you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, just one correction here is I said about old age supplement, $600. It is $600 per month, which is $7,200 a year. So please note that that was not right that I said $600. It was per month. Thank you.